Good. I think we're good. Hmm. We're gonna watch a video by Amala today. Um, she'd actually done a video recently about that lady the essayist who had gotten an F from a trans professor. Apparently, that's more murky than perhaps initially thought. She just thought that the essay was really, really bad, which I think the woman kind of cited the Bible, which I agree with technically, but it feels like the entire premise of proving a thing is like, okay, well, here's something I trust and believe in. Here's something I don't trust and believe in, right? I'm going to use the thing that I trust and believe in to prove the thing that I don't trust and believe in, to see if it holds up, to see if it is in fact trustworthy. When you're talking to another person, the premise is, okay, what do you trust and believe in? Right? What do you trust and believe in so that I have a basis upon which I can argue my point and convince you that I am right? But you need to start from that common point. You need to start from that point of commonality there. In this case, like it's an academic inquiry, not necessarily a mystical or doctrinal moral one, right? I think the idea was of the test that you're supposed to maybe look up studies or something like that, and maybe the woman just didn't get that or something. Um, but yeah, I would get the idea that it's less cut and dried, perhaps, than initially thought. It might have just been a really bad essay. Anyways, let's take a look at this.
You didn't experience a microaggression, you just hate white people. Let's talk about it.
Microaggression.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about microaggressions because I've had many a video come across my For You page where people are talking about experiencing microaggressions at the hands of white people.
Here's a question. There's kind of a dynamic that exists in the notion of like, okay, caution to like a cost benefit analysis that exists in these types of situations. So the question would be, do you think it's better if on the whole racial minorities or minorities of any sort who can be singled out quite easily in a society for persecution or whatever, do you think it's better if they're a little bit like on a hair trigger with regards to that type of thing? Like just head on a swivel, looking out for that type of thing, or if they're a little bit lackadaisical. Because it feels like the downside to being like really on a hair trigger is that it would inevitably entail like false positives, right? But the downside of being a little bit lackadaisical about it is that okay, you might let some stuff slide that you really shouldn't let slide, and someone probably somewhere is going to be the victim of some jackass doing something bad. For the record, like with the rest of police officers and the clips you see online of someone doing something perhaps bad, I've gotten the idea there's like 700,000 to 800,000 like sworn police officers in the country. So it's one of those things where like yeah, you're going to find some clips of someone doing bad somewhere. It's kind of astonishing that maybe you don't find more of them unless they're just not there to be found. So what exactly is the thing there? There's also an argument to be made that we allow for a certain degree of caution in the case of women versus men. Like it's fine if a woman doesn't want a male roommate, or if they don't want to be alone in blank space with men that they don't know or don't trust or aren't related to. We generally think of that as fine because, men overwhelmingly perpetrate a lot of these crimes against women. Women are often the victims of abuse. So, like, the cost benefit is like, okay, you don't really lose much by being a little bit cautious around men, and you might lose a lot if you're, lackadaisical about it if you don't take proper precautions or if you are too trusting in that regard. Right? Men on average tend to be bigger and stronger than women. So yeah, the cost benefit analysis is weighed heavily in favor of being a little cautious when you're around men as a woman. I think a lot of people would apply that to racial dynamics or something like that. I tend to think, at least these days, there's a lot of commentators who take it too far to some extent. They kind of make their bread and butter from sensationalism. And that's not unique to like racial social justice people or commentators, right? Like almost all commentators, like they need you to come back. So there's an incentivization on their part to be like, hey, this is how the world is. It's scary. It's dangerous. Like and subscribe, right? So like I'm not saying that necessarily means what they're saying is wrong, but it's worth acknowledging when there's like kind of a double motive for doing a thing. Where was I going with this? It feels like it's been taken too far to the point where a lot of commentators almost preach a type of, oh, you're walking into a room full of white people, better keep your head on a swivel, right? Never know what might happen. As perhaps evidenced by the term microaggression, like that you got to the point where you have to have a PhD to know whether or not someone's been racist against you. Like, really? Yeah, I don't know about that. And again, this type of extreme on the ball race analysis it feels like it inevitably entails like a false positive where people are just yeah I don't know I'm not overly fond of the extreme to which it's been taken to.
Now, if you do not know what a microaggression is, let me give you the definition. Google says
But
it's a
yeah,
subtle, often unintentional, verbal, nonverbal, or environmental slight or insult
maybe.
that communicates a prejudiced attitude towards a marginalized group. So microaggressions are those little
To be fair,
subtle.
I had not heard environmental slight. I'm assuming that's where you like walk into some place and they don't have what you want because of your niche social interest or something. I don't know if I use air quotes there. Maybe that's appropriate. Maybe it's not. But and then you get kind of mad about that.
Almost unnoticeable things that people may do that can communicate that they are racist, that they are judging you
Puts their purse on the other side. Bigot.
on the basis of your skin color. At least we're going to be talking
Right.
about it through the lens of race today.
Technically, I don't know if I thought that was purse. Why am I talking about this?
Because that's primarily the videos that I'm seeing when it comes to microaggressions. Now I'm going to show you this first one, and we're going to ask ourselves, did they experience a racist microaggression, or do they hate white people? Let's play that game. Here's this first one. It says, white people always in our business.
When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business.
A lot of people ask us, what's the difference between mud water and mushroom coffee? It's actually pretty simple. First, we're not coffee.
Now we see that white lady in the background. What does it look like to me? It looks like she sees people who are filming, okay?
I just want to
she's
point out, like, let me just show you something here. Look, just give me a second.
watching them, and she realizes she's in the back of the shot. So she's leaning down so as to not be in the shot for presumably, I don't know, this girl's birthday. They're saying that white people are always in.
Look at this. Black. Oh, come on. All right, this guy, he's black. Look at this woman. She's basically white. I'm just saying. On the scale of like blackest person in the world to whitest person in the world, this woman is basically white. Just it feels like in America we have a not as big of a sample size, but people from like South Sahara. I don't know where this guy is from actually. I think this is the. I was thinking of the blackest woman alive. There's some model like this is. She's like full on black. Nikayam Gatwich something. Yeah, I think she's supposed to be maybe the blackest woman in the world. Yeah, this woman not so much. She's like 2 shades from being full on white.
Now we see that white lady in the background. What does it look like to me? It looks like she sees people who are filming, okay? And she's watching them, and she realizes she's in the back of the shot. So she's leaning down so as to not be in the shot.
I wonder who the whitest person in the world is. Technically, there's albinos. There's even albino Nubians. So maybe that's there's albino black people. I think that there's a guy Tombstone from actually Marvel or from Marvel Cinematic. No, I say Marvel Cinematic Universe, like the Marvel Comics universe. I think he's like supposed to be an albino African American, which is a strange type of combination because you still have the bone structure and everything like that. But yeah, they're full on white.
For presumably, I don't know, this girl's birthday. They're saying that white people are always in their business. Did you experience a microaggression, or do you hate white people?
That's the dumbest. Like, okay, you're singing happy birthday, presumably, to yourself in a public place. And yeah, they're the ones being intrusive. Yep, that's a thing that you thought was smart.
People. Ding, 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 I'm going with B. Okay, I'm going to lock that answer in.
Is that your final answer?
I just think she's more of a jackass.
Now, this is not my only example, guys. We're going to move on. This is one that I actually posted on X, and a lot of people were fired up about this one. Now, the caption on this says, this is what you call a...
How do you guys feel about racial slurs against white people? Because there's one that I really like, which is Vanilla Gorilla. I would prefer Silverback Gorilla, but Vanilla Gorilla I'll take because that's awesome. You ever see gorillas shaved down? They are like really kind of bad. Bad in the good way.
Micro white woman aggression, okay? We had something she didn't think we deserved since she didn't get any. Quote, we shouldn't have either. Now, here is
a couple of intuitive leaps. Well, I say intuitive. There's a couple of logical leaps there that I would prefer to have justified.
The video.
You ladies look stunning.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you.
And that's the way women behave. Oh, you look so nice. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Then they stab you in the back. Catty, Cheeto.
You like some flowers?
I feel like women do in like they tend to be nice to people, even if they really don't like them.
So if you didn't catch that, the white woman walks up to this group of black women and says, you ladies look lovely. And they have flowers. She goes, I didn't know we could have any flowers. Now,
No, I guess it'd be true to say, I think women are really, really nice up to the point where they're not nice. Where I think guys maybe more have a sliding scale of like, I don't like you, to I really like, or to I like you. Women are just kind of nice, and then they're really not nice.
She goes, it's too late as far as getting the flowers. And she says, but you ladies look lovely. So compliment, question / statement, compliment. I'm not understanding where the microaggression is, where the racism is, but this lady filmed this interaction, posted this white woman online, and accused her of a micro white woman aggression. Guys, if you are looking for racism, you are going to find it everywhere. And if you cannot find it, you are going to make it up. That's exactly
Preach it, sister.
Exactly what's happening in these videos. And we can only assume that this has to be because you hate white people. Because if you're going through your normal day, you're going to have interactions like this with other races all the time. People are going to compliment you, call you beautiful, ask you where you got something, a comment on you having something, and you're not interpreting that in a negative or...
No, but you see, because she's white and she said that you had some... It's like, okay. It's hard to not see it as them like uniquely singling out anyone who's, you know, not that anyone who is white. Yeah, it's.
But as soon as a white person does it to you, it's a racist thing to have said or to have asked or to have communicated to somebody. Make it make sense.
That's the way it works.
It's not lining up unless we realize that a lot of these people are actually racist towards white people. Now here.
I'm just distracted by the fact that there's this, like, I think a beam of light coming in and hitting this part of her body.
Is another example. Mind you, I've come across all of these within the space of 1 week. So we have to think to ourselves, how often is this happening? Now, this black woman is sitting and she's filming herself while she's waiting to see an opera. And a white elderly woman sits next to her and asks her a question.
Are you famous? Should I know who you are? Famously sitting here about to enjoy the opera.
Now she's already offended. The white woman says, are you famous? Should I know who you are? And I imagine she's asking this because of the way that this woman is dressed. She looks all dolled up. She looks gorgeous. She's ready for the opera and she's filming herself. And maybe people are watching. Maybe she's live streaming. I don't know what she's doing. But that'd be a natural question. Are you famous? Should I know who you are? And boom, she's offended. You can already hear the passive aggressiveness in her tone.
Is this your first opera? No. People say, you know, first opera should be this. Oh, do they? No. It's interesting. I've seen Rigoletto.
I feel like that's kind of a natural question you would ask one when you were at the opera. Is this your first opera? Like, it's kind of like a basic small talk thing that would happen there.
I've seen Carmen. I've seen quite a few. So, yeah, I've been all around the world to see. Earlier this year, I went to Teatro alla Scala
Yeah, see,
in Milan.
It just sounds like small talk.
To see stuff. So, yes, I love opera. What about yourself?
I try.
Opera sucks. I was talking. I guess I don't know. I think I'd maybe enjoy the music to some extent, a little bit. I do like classical music on some level, but like sitting there for hours upon hours, listening to something recited in Latin that I don't understand, and a plot that's probably some sort of Shakespearean tragedy BS. Not my cup of tea. I don't.
Yeah, you do as well.
Yes, last month I was in Ireland.
Nice.
I like happy endings.
You have an accent. I heard that Ireland. Are you from Ireland?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, you had a little.
All right, sorry. Give me a second. There, lost. All right. Stupid thing got in my eye.
A bit of that. Well, when you said it, it sounded like you could be.
Because I go there every year, so.
Oh, okay, yes. And why do you go to Ireland every year?
For the festival.
Oh, for the festival.
opera.
Okay,
The opera.
yeah.
Okay, so they continue to go back and forth. Now she feels offended by the question because she writes in this TikTok, she asked, "Is this your first opera?" and puts a little emoji underneath
Yeah.
it. And guess what? The lady does ask, "Is this your first opera?" And she goes on to say, "I say that because I've heard this is a good first opera for people to go and see." Now I'm paraphrasing, but
Because you're black.
that's along the lines of what she just said. Now, why did you choose to clip this interaction and post it on the internet for people to be communicated this idea that this somehow is a microaggression against you? And if you don't think that's being communicated,
Oh, please. That was like a textbook. Textbook microaggression.
in this video, I'm going to read you some comments underneath this TikTok. Now, one person writes, "The microaggressions are singing at full opera volume and you matched her notes with style." Nearly 10,000 likes on that. "She wanted it to be your first opera so badly." 23,000 likes on that. Another one writes, "They love to hit us with the 'Are you famous?' anytime they find black people outside of the ghetto. Gotta sing, dance, act, or play basketball to have access to the finer things in life." Now you're just
For the record, I think this other woman here gave this woman's life a meaning heretofore undreamt of. Because people like this, it feels like they just really like doing this stuff. They just really like being oppressed. Okay? This woman went home with joy in her heart, thinking, "I'm going to make a video about this crap," saying that this woman was racist. So she should actually thank that woman. Okay? She should thank that woman for being that microaggressive to her. There's actually a thing recently where Sydney Watson was not Sydney Watson, Sydney Sweeney was quote unquote apologizing. I don't know if it was really an apology, but like for the jeans commercial that she had done a while back. And I don't necessarily even disagree with what she said, as far as it was more like a clarification of, okay, I don't espouse the views that some people have associated with this thing. I want to bring people together, blah, 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 blah. But there's a point to be made where I don't think some of these people really want an apology, and like, if the people you're trying to apologize to will never accept it, like, if they're just kind of an avarice mob, they want domination, they don't really want an apology. Like, why indulge that endlessly? Like, it feels like, 'cause there's no good stopping place once you start that type of thing. Like, again, these people, it feels like they don't really want an apology. They want you to grovel a little bit and demean yourself a little bit. They want to feel like they control you, like they can do anything, or they want to feel that little bit of power they get by, yeah, we made so and so apologize. We're like, yeah, just feels like better not to feed the gremlins after dark.
It's kind of being racist towards your own group because
Right?
who said that?
I never actually watched that movie, but I think that's the idea I would get from just watching random references to it in other media.
Who said?
Yeah, don't feed the gremlins after dark. Don't get them wet, which sounds kind of salacious. Get your mind out of the gutter. No, that's more a referendum on my own character.
Said that about y'all. Nobody said that. Another person says those are the type of questions they ask to see what type of black person you are. They literally categorize us in their heads. You guys are fighting and battling imaginary demons. Y'all are schizophrenic.
Right, but they're happy. Why not just let them be happy?
Y'all are racist schizophrenics because she didn't say anything to insinuate even a modicum of all the things you're talking about in these comments. This is really insane. But again, if you've been force-fed the narrative that white people hate black people, that they are constantly out to oppress you, to steal from you, to put you down, you are going to take everything they say as a microaggression. And a lot of y'all are Simone Biles because of the amount of flips and tricks and vault jumps you have to do to come up with a racist scenario happening in front of your face in these videos. It's astounding. Gold medal for all of you. Now here's one more. And I wanted to find one where I could be charitable, where I could see how somebody would actually interpret it as a microaggression. And here's the one I have. Now this is a black man and he writes microaggression while getting takeout. And this is one of the most common microaggressions we hear about, the clutching of the purse.
While I come in here, two white people turn around, look at me. The one white lady,
Okay, I take it back. He has a thingy here, a mole. I don't trust people with moles. Sidney Crawford. That one's up to something. Probably like the queen of the lizard people.
you look me dead in my face and grab her purse and clutch it. Clutch it out. Bitch, I don't care about your money. I'm here for my chicken and broccoli, bitch.
Are black people allowed to order fried chicken? Isn't that kind of racist?
So there we go. He chose to film that person. He chose to flip the camera, show her on the camera, and then said, she clutched her purse. This is a microaggression. Now I could see how some people could interpret.
That's quite possible. I have a theory, though. Like, here's a question for you guys. You think if Eminem rolls up in some place covered in tats with, like, ghetto chic decked out in that fashion, right? Do you think he's going to get looks? Like, tats, kind of that whole persona? I feel like sometimes, like, this type of prejudice has more to do with the way a person dresses, the way a person talks, the way a person looks, like their whole persona, as opposed to, like, specifically race. So it'd be interesting to do like a differentiation study there to see if, like, if you had someone decked out in the same type of paraphernalia, you had like a white person, black person, kind of same tats, same whatever, same clothing, same method of talking or expressing themselves, if they would get the same sort of reactions to some extent.
Interpret that as a.
But in this case, he doesn't actually look that ghetto.
Microaggression. You feel like you see a black man walking, you're going to walk to the other side of the street. You see a black man come into your restaurant, you clutch your purse or whatever. Here's something I'll say. I see any man of any kind, I'm clutching my purse. I see any man, okay? I am clutching my purse. Honestly, I see strangers. I'm living in the city of LA. I don't know where you guys live, okay? If you guys are in London.
To be fair, it looked like the purse was hanging or something. I don't know if, like, what quantifies like clutching your purse.
London, LA, New York City, these places where constantly things are getting snatched, people are getting punched, robbed, stabbed, shot. I am clutching my purse at all times. You can call me a certified purse clutcher because there's no way you're stealing my bag. Secure the bag has a very different meaning for me. I will say that much. Okay. Now, do we even know if this woman really clutched?
Just like, I guess I don't know. It would depend. Like, okay, so what was she doing when he came in versus like I don't know.
Her purse because this guy came in? No. We have no evidence to suggest that other than the fact that he said it and decided to film her with.
Go look it up if you want. Amala Pinovi, she complimented a black woman, and now she's being called racist. You can go finish that if you want. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.